Hello, I'm Rebecca
And I'm Franklin.
from
Hey.
Samana, and we're speaking with help musicians about our experience of what it is to be returning to live performance, live music after an incredibly long time due to the pandemic. So we have a show this evening at St Pancras Old Church in London, which will be our first concert in 2 years. We're answering these questions in regards to that show. So let's begin.
I would also like to start out by thanking help musicians massively because without help musicians, we may well not be doing this show this evening. It's been a really tough testing time for all of us, of course, and for those in the arts who are at the beginning, such as ourselves, without the support of people such as or organisations such as help musicians. We would be in a huge amount of trouble. So I just want to say a huge thank you to you guys. You've been absolutely amazing in just covering the real necessities of life when it's come to putting bread on the table. Even it's just been everything to us. So the first question that's been asked of us is the tips on preparing to play live again after such a long break. My mind is pretty nutty at the best of times, and I am very guilty of just being completely nuts every single day. I can't really sit still. So something that's been really brilliant more recently, actually we've been working for 2 years now on just getting into our house, and something I've really learnt from that has been the act and art of presence and being present within the moment and slowing down. Actually, often when I'm running around like a complete nut, I do things much slower and with really badly as well. So I have to say something that I'm realising these days is just slowing down, the art of slowing down. That's been really conducive to actually preparing to get back on stage again. It's just part of not feeling the obligations of having to get on stage and it's a you're playing and then it's just being present in every single moment, and that's been hugely instrumental for me in really also curbing certain like nerves and performance anxieties, which comes to the next question, in overcoming nerves and performance anxiety. Again, it's like these little routines, these little rituals that we've been kind of embarking on for the past few months, which is just being in touch with our bodies by way of doing yoga or whatever it is, where we're jumping in the sea, or it's just really feeling and reconnecting with your body and with yourself, and just sitting with yourself again. So I think for me that's been hugely instrumental in kind of curbing any nerves or anxieties. And finally, the other thing I'd say about it is also a sense of kind of I guess where I obviously before, when we were playing much more pre-pandemic, there's a kind of, you get into the flow, there's that idea, you're speaking about being present, it's you find that within each performance because you know it and you can really enjoy it, whereas I think there's this idleness that we've had for 2 years where you're coming back on stage, it's completely unfamiliar, daunting and scary, and for me it's that I've found that kind of franticity of all these kind of crazy thoughts going on, and all of a sudden it was just this sense of, okay, slow down, sit with the parts, play, for the performance itself. I've always been someone who hasn't learnt or listened to the record. I've just played and it's felt good, and it's been rough and raw and raucous. And for this show, it's been a complete different approach of just slowing down, sitting with the music, playing with our band and keeping our voices intact.
I was going to say as well, embodying the nerves and the anxiety is a really prevalent and important time. I think given the absence, and for every musician that, it's the sole venture of musicians to be sharing and performing on a live capacity. And nerves are definitely an extension of something that you feel very close to and very passionate about. I think it's about recentering and re-navigating that, and reminding yourself that the nerves that you're feeling. So I definitely have nerves. I definitely have, you know, certain feeling of certain anxieties and certain nerves. But for me, it's about reminding myself to embody them and almost inhabit them like an armor, you know, to walk out with them rather than being led by them. And this is a really powerful entity. And I would say as well, from the vocal side of things, I think recentering your breath and just identifying the feelings that are going on in the body and connecting with them, and just giving them the time to really present themselves and feel them is a really important part. I think the other thing as well is it's been such a long time, and when you undertake an element of art that reveals a huge part of yourself or a huge part of your soul or your you know, innermost emotions or your philosophies, I think there has to be an element of self-embrace, in the sense that, you know, we've been in this boat together, we're returning now after a long time, and I think it's about enjoying. It's just about enjoying, giving yourself completely to your performance and the experience that comes with that. Yeah. So the next was traveling and setting up at venues more cumbersome than pre-pandemic. Well, the show is going to be occurring later, so we can't answer that question in light to now. But something I think is that I think it's just a shift. It's a shift with the times. I think there's a respect between people and the distance and the fact that everyone, you know, sees things differently, responds differently. I think it's just about keeping that respect and working to return to a circuit, you know, a live circuit, a situation where we can be in a room together again. Our experience so far leading up to this show, I wouldn't say has been any more cumbersome. I think obviously there's been certain obstacles that have definitely had to be overcome in regards to it being a socially distanced show or starting out as a socially distanced show. So that process has definitely had differences to maybe your normal concert. But I would say in regards to the reactionary process of, okay, this situation is at hand and this is how we have to react, it's been quite smooth, and it's been, people have been working together, and I think this will continue to be that way, basically, with the hurdles that are overcoming. I think the main word is really respect and working together. Were the audience more responsive than pre-pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's the live audience. That's something we'll comment on as of this evening or after this evening. But I have to say, on a kind of release level, because we have been releasing music over the past year, we've just been doing it in a different way, not so much on a record basis or as an album. It's been a kind of always a song a month at one point. And I can't even begin to express how powerful, how powerful this pandemic has actually been in forcing people indoors to sit with themselves and reevaluate. And I think there's something, our creation and our work has never really changed. It's always kind of bared this notion of honesty, and it's hugely eminent of our relationship with each other and with the world, and I think it's been quite interesting and fascinating in the sense that people on an emotional level have been certainly affected by the pandemic, and it's forced more people to kind of, or as far as I'm aware, with the people closest to me, my friends, my family, and also the people who are engaging with the music, I've just noticed a slight shift by way of people being even more receptive on an emotional level, even more engaged on an emotional level. And I'm so excited to share that with the audience this evening. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. It's going to be so powerful.
Emotionally charged, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And again, this kind of ties in nicely with the next question, which is how have your fans responded to the changes and delays in new music? Well, they've been very incredibly patient. I mean, we are very much at the beginning of the process, and I think it's been a really tough time for artists such as ourselves in light of the pandemic, because of course we are very much at the beginning. You know, we've released our debut album, but still, thus far, our fans and those people, the music lovers who listen to us, they've been, whilst they've been very dedicated, we've been in a situation here where there has been for the past year and a half a real vacuum where, by way of new music, lots of the new music that's been coming up and has been kind of supported, has had funding, lots of funding behind it, or whatever it is that's kind of got it into the ears of those people listening. And so for acts such as us, it's been very difficult. But this is again why Help Musicians has been so instrumental for artists in our situation, in just quite literally just helping us fare lots of the kind of the financial negligence of political institutions who we've noticed over the years. It's, you know, lots of funding's been cut. It's been much more difficult for artists coming up in the world these days. On all spheres, not just on music. So I think having organisations such as Help Musicians to just champion work and really give onus to the importance and power of our cultural sector is just invaluable. So that's been really wonderful. And by way of the way in which fans have responded to the changes and delays in new music, I mean, whether this is a new normal or not. I mean, I think we're still on very much a transitional plane here, but I think people are so versatile and so adaptable. I think I've been really bowed over again by the patience and the kindness and the support that we've had. So I'd also like to thank all those people who've continued to support us over the past 2 years. And then finally, just tying it up, it's the last question that's been posed to us is, what does the next 12 months look like for Samana?
I think these next 12 months are going to be very exciting. We're looking to return to a live capacity as much as we possibly can. Samana is it's very visceral, it's very emotional. A huge part of it is about the connection, it's about the sharing and the connection in that time, in that present moment between people, between ourselves, the audience together. It's almost like a charging of a room, and I think I've been left speechless by my own dictionary as to just now, but we just can't wait to return to that performance, that continuation of performance, and I think it's a really exciting next 12 months. We're
working with fantastic management who have been brilliant in helping us and allowing us to self-release the body of work that we're putting out at the moment. We're releasing it under the Road Records, which is our own record label, alongside theirs, Music for Heroes. So it's just been such a brilliant process for us to kind of really get to grips with what it is to self-release. Again, it's been very helpful. We've been very fortunate also to have secured some Arts Council funding. The Arts Council have been absolutely brilliant in listening to or at least receiving our ideas and just helping facilitate the process of putting an album together with the costs that are obviously incurred when getting music out there. So as a result of that, we're able to, in the not so distant future, be putting out a body of work which we're really excited about as a full album.
Under wraps.
And I think the next year, really coming into January, is going to be about getting out there and meeting all of you guys, and just getting out and putting the music out there, and touring and playing live. Who knows what's to come? But it's my divine hope that we're able to get out there and share and travel as much as we can to really just connect inspire, be inspired, and share. So I'm really speaking personally. I can't even begin to fathom the words to express how excited I am about doing that.
I think I'm just going to say as well. I think the other thing is that you can expect from us over the next year is the integration of different mediums of art. It's something that when Samana began, we're multimedia artists. It's something we're very passionate about during the longevity of our creations and our careers. Really exploring this in terms of pushing boundaries between the weaving of these different entities of work, and it's something in this next year that we've already undergone. We've begun, certain projects that do this. So you can definitely expect from us some very interesting bodies of work that tie in from different places. So to wrap it up, live performances, a weaving of different dimensions of concepts and work in a way that we feel can push boundaries, and
hugs and kisses to all of you guys. Again, just a huge thanks to Help Musicians for making this happen, and for also giving a couple of Wallies such as us a platform to speak to all you lovely people. So we just wanted to again thank you guys for putting food on the table for us for the past 18 months, and
see you tonight.
We'll see you, if not tonight, then we'll see you on the road.
Yeah.
Much love to all of you, and stay safe, stay well.
Big love.
Be true.
Bye.